political commentator, writer, syndicated columnist, and a lawyer, just in case you didn't know. How you doing, Ann?
Fantastic. How about you?
I'm fine. You know, the whole world is trying to blame Trump and trying to blame Bannon and everybody else on this loss. I think this is all about Roy Moore, personally.
I'm a little ticked off at all of them, though I have bitten my tongue, though I have at least a half dozen friends who can provide affidavits that this was my position, which I indicated just as the polls closed. Trump never should have endorsed Luther Strange. He should have endorsed Mo Brooks.
Yep.
Mitch McConnell should not have spent millions and millions of dollars in the primary, not attacking Roy Moore, but attacking Mo Brooks. What is special about Mo Brooks? He ran on the winning issues, the only winning issues that are always winning issues. Immigration, immigration, immigration. Jeff Sessions was a stalwart on immigration in the United States Senate. Of course, Mitch McConnell hated him. He won his last election by 97%.
Right.
Donald Trump is not, anybody's idea of Mr. Presidential. He beat Hillary with the entire media, the Democrats, and his own party against him with all kinds of late-breaking scandals on what issue? Immigration. Until Republicans, and I'm including Bannon, McConnell, and Trump understand that immigration is not only the most important issue facing the country, but the issue that wins elections, we're going to keep having these idiotic primary fights over nothing. Establishment versus anti-establishment. We went through this. Remember?
Oh, we did.
Remember with the Tea Party candidates, Christine O'Donnell, Sharon Angle, Richard Murdoch, Todd Aiken. No, we may personally hate Mitch McConnell and establishment Republicans, and there's a lot to hate there. But that isn't the winning issue. The winning issue is immigration. Keep your eye on the ball, you idiot Republicans.
Yeah, well, listen, I agree with you there. And I also think that, everybody thinks they can beat Donald Trump. I think Roy Moore thought he could beat Donald Trump. And none of them can pull it off. I don't know.
Well, he wasn't, though. I mean, going around, look, I'm a Christian, you're a Christian. Going around babbling about the Ten Commandments and abortion, those aren't the litmus test issues anymore. I will write further about this in next week's column.
I'm sure.
It used to be, back when we were kids, abortion was a fantastic litmus test. It's what separated someone like Ronald Reagan from George Bush and all the moderate Republicans. Half the Republican Party used to be pro-abortion. Then Reagan ran as, Mr. Pro-Life, won 2 landslide elections and won the Cold War. Now every Republican is pro-abortion. It means nothing. We are looking for a litmus test to separate the mice from the men, and that issue is immigration. A Republican who's good on immigration, as Jeff Sessions was, as Mo Brooks is, they will be good on every other issue these idiot Republicans care about. It isn't just talking back to the media or pissing off the right people. I love ticking off the right people. I am someone who ticks off the right people.
Yes, you are.
But that isn't good enough. No. You have to have the basic issue that voters will forgive anything for. I mean, for 20 years, Republicans, voters have, every time they've been allowed to vote on the issue of immigration, starting with Proposition 187 in California, Eric Cantor, Donald Trump, the American people shutting down 3 sneaky amnesties the Republicans tried to push through. Every time forget Republicans, it's both Democrats and Republicans. Every time voters have a chance to make their opinion known on immigration, they keep voting less immigration, restrictions on immigration, no welfare benefits for immigration, no anger babies, we want a wall. Well, how stupid are these Republicans?
I don't know.
Winning issue right here.
And you had multiple examples in the last 3 or 4 weeks in New York of chain migration, and nobody mentioned it. It was except for Jeff Sessions. It's a little, he's not running for office anymore.
I checked to see last night because I didn't recall Roy Moore ever saying anything about immigration. It was always the Ten Commandments. And again,
he wanted to build a wall.
That's not the issue.
He did want to build a wall.
I had to search Nexus last night for an hour before I could find a statement back from 2006 from Roy Moore. When asked He did support, which is kind of an idiotic idea, but at least, he came out on the side of something. He supported George Bush's idea of putting the National Guard on the border while saying, no, we need a wall. But I couldn't find anything else in the entire Nexus archives. He could have been the exact same person if he had been great on immigration. He wasn't. Mo Brooks was. That's why we all supported, I specifically supported over and over. I only provided a few links in my column today. Mo Brooks in the primary, and that's why McConnell opposed him.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. And it's funny because if you look at the people who did support Mo Brooks, they quietly said, all right, if it's Roy Moore better than Luther Strange, but we're not happy about it.
Right.
The same personalities. And so none of us are disappointed that Roy Moore lost. I certainly am not.
No, it would have been. I mean, I'm glad it was close because I do think the child molestation charges are complete BS. But if you take that out of it, okay, he has been falsely accused. I feel sorry for him. I hate the media. I would have voted for him just to show how much I hate the media. But take that out, and he's not that great a candidate, and he would have hurt the Republicans.
Yeah, it would have been an anchor around them. And, today, let them gloat. They think that this means something about the future. I'll tell you what it means about the future. If you look at the numbers in a harsh way, they have no chance of taking back the House unless somebody self-destructs. And the Republicans actually have a pretty good chance of getting a bigger majority in the Senate. They're defending far fewer seats than the Democrats are.
Well, it's a good year for us, but only if Republicans, and I mean all of them, Donald Trump, Mitch McConnell, and Steve Bannon, all wake up and see that they are losing as long as Trump's administration is going to be, the George Bush presidency, but with Jared Kushner. That's really the big difference we have here. Get back to the issues, he hasn't even gotten to them yet, the issues he won on. Otherwise, Alabama proves Trump's base won't follow him blindly just because they love him. It's the issue he ran on. It's the wall. It's anchor babies. Okay, we did get the Muslim ban, though. I think we could be a little more pedal to the metal on that, and I notice it's not quite the full Muslim ban I was promised. He's got to stop pursuing these the old GOP issues that, some small group of people care about, but the rest of the country could not care less about. It is the white working class. It is the middle class. It's people like you and me who voted for him for immigration. Get back to those issues, and he will start winning again. But if he doesn't do that, I say Republicans get wiped out in the midterms.
Wow, that's a heavy statement. See, I don't see how that happens. I think that there's a lot of stuff happening, Ann, that's going to be pleasing to the white middle class voter. Tax relief certainly will be. Bringing back manufacturing jobs certainly is helping out in areas of the country
that care about tax cuts. Half the country does not pay tax. This is the second-term stuff. Wall, deportations, really start enforcing that Muslim ban, and I'd extend it now. End anchor babies. If he wants to gin up his base, that's what he has to do. Half the country doesn't pay taxes. Also, the trade deficit has actually increased with Mexico and China since Trump has been president. That's kind of a big issue. The three pillars of the Trump campaign were no more pointless wars. Hey, are we still in Afghanistan? Is he threatening some sort of war with North Korea, which isn't even our problem? It's China's problem. So he wanted no more pointless wars, bring manufacturing home, and immigration. He is not doing that. He's moving the embassy. He's pushing through tax cuts. He's failing to get through an Obamacare repeal. This is all the stuff Jeb ! Would have done.
No. Don't say that. Huh. No, but see, I think the bringing back of manufacturing jobs does resonate with the base. And I think,
do, but he's not doing it.
Well, he did it. The numbers have never been better. He brought back more jobs in the last quarter than Barack Obama was able to do in 8 years. Actually, Barack Obama continued to lose manufacturing jobs every single quarter. So there's some stuff that, will resonate with people.
It's around the edges. And by the way, I'm not saying this is going to happen. I'm warning of, the ghost of Christmas future. But I think everybody on our side needs to wake up and see what happened in this election. Number one, the base will not blindly follow Donald Trump. They didn't vote for him for his personality. They voted for him on the issues. Number two, Steve Bannon can't just run candidates because they're anti-Mitch McConnell. I mean, I love Bannon and I hate Mitch McConnell, but that is not the winning issue. He's got to choose his primary candidates against Republicans very carefully, and it's got to be on the issue of immigration.
Yeah,
the anti-McConnell thing may gin up 10% of the voters. That's not enough to win elections, and we are just going to lose Senate seats that we ought to be winning, and some we already hold and we're sacrificing, as happened in Alabama. And McConnell, good grief, is he ever going to learn? He's got to tell the Chamber of Commerce, drive them around with a gun to their heads for an hour, saying, we can give you tax relief, we can give you regulatory reform, we can give you tort reform, but we can't give you anything if we keep giving you cheap labor.
Yeah. No, listen, I certainly agree with you on that issue, and I see that it's very slow to bring about, but he has absolutely no assistance from either any of the cabinet or from his from his Congress.
Own advisors in the White House.
Yeah, I mean, he is really alone out there, and I think he has taken it on as in a way that I never believed anybody could. I mean, look, Ann, they have set out to impeach this president since before he took office, and they are relentless. 69 of them, including Lois Frankel, standing up there yesterday. We want an investigation. I mean, give me a break.
No, I know he is up against the swamp is worse than you or I ever. Imagine, but it would really help him in fighting the swamp if he hired better people himself in his own White House.
Yeah, well, listen, that's another thing about Donald Trump is that we're learning that some of this loyalty stuff he has to put aside. Buy them a new house, but don't take them to Washington with you.
Well, he's not particularly loyal to the people who supported him. Where's Corey Lewandowski? He attacks Jeff Sessions.
Writing books.
No, he's loyal to his family. I mean,
that's what I'm talking about.
Bad aspects of Trump are going to kill him. And he's smart and he has amazing political instincts. If he would just go back to those amazing political instincts and hire people like Corey Lewandowski, like Pat Caddell, like Mickey Kaus. Like Chris Kobach.
Yeah,
you and I could name off the top of our heads a dozen highly qualified, Ivy League educated, rock-solid immigration patriots. But they're no place near the White House. No, it's all, who did Reince Priebus or Jared Kushner suggest?
Yeah, and putting Sessions in as the AG instead of as Homeland Security or ICE or something was a foolish move, a waste of time. And he just doesn't. He's a polite old dude who I love dearly from Alabama, but he can't take on the Muellers and the Rosensteins of the world. Those.
No, I can name another dozen people who should be the Deputy Attorney General. I mean, It is true that Sessions had to recuse himself from anything having to do with the campaign. It's silly to complain about that.
No, but that's why you don't make him AG.
Rosenstein is his deputy. And Rosenstein, by the way, he was president of the Federalist Society at Harvard. It's not a crazy idea, but he's part of the swamp.
Yeah, they're all part of the swamp. And I'm beginning to think that even Jeff Sessions is part of the swamp. So we'll see. We'll see. It's kind of crazy, but you're fired up. The new column came out today?
It just got posted.
All right, so we'll have we'll link that up at the website. When are you coming down here? We're supposed to have our.
I may be coming to your Christmas party tonight.
Ew, really?
Yes, I was invited off camera.
All right, well, that's very interesting. I wasn't planning on going, but you'll have a good time nonetheless. All right, I will talk to you soon.
Okay, talk to you soon, Joyce. Bye-bye.
We will make America great again.